Hey everybody, Harold here. Thanks for tuning in and watching. So, updates on what's been going on. Some of you may have seen I have issued a challenge to doctors in the Dominican Republic if they are martial arts practitioners, if they do kickboxing, boxing, MMA, because that hyper motivates me to come out for a fight. Right, Anogato? Look at him, relax. That's how we chilling over here. But the reason this kind of came to me is that, doing martial arts, I've had issues. I don't necessarily think it's an issue, but I think I don't like hurting people. I don't like it. Even when I fight, I think the most superior form of fighting is for me to do it with minimal damage. So what do I mean by that? Like if I can score a clean knockout with a punch, with a hit, whatever strike it may be, or a submission, or a throw, and that ends a fight, that shows the best skill. I've neutralized the opponent quickly instead of drawing out a long campaign. And I understand that when you're doing combat sports, there's an element of entertainment, right? But that's the art part of martial arts, right? So I think when you execute a highly technical technique, there's beauty in that. There's art in the setup, in the execution of it, just getting to the position, because obviously it's not easy to do that to a high level practitioner. But in contrast with just hitting someone again and again and again and blooding them up and knocking them down, and he gets up and I hit him again and I hit him again, I'm like, he doesn't stop. That means my technique sucks. I'm throwing everything at somebody, I can't put him down. I know when that's happened to me, it fortunately hasn't happened to me in a competition, but sparring, when I hit somebody, boom, I'm like, man, that's it. I got to hit him with everything I got. And he felt nothing. And he's just moving forward. That is demoralizing. And likewise, I do that to opponents, right? They come at me, bam, and I'm just, you could do the tongue po, the fuck you stance, right? You do that, your opponents get very, very intimidated by that. So it's just something that I think, these are my backups of like, why is that a superior way of fighting? But in regards to the doctors, again, these guys, I'm calling out the COVID doctors. They're a bunch of fucking assholes. Fuck them. Already cursing, but whatever. The disdain I have in my heart for them. I use this memory TV meme, and I've been sharing it, I think since 2022, right? That is it's a guy. Oh, I'll take my heart. That's hardened as like a stone. Take it and stone. I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say what. You guys get it already. And I changed it to the COVID chills, and I started sharing it every day. My heart, that's hardened to stone. Take it and destroy the COVID chills. But I honestly feel like that. Because then when I start thinking about these people and the way I approach fighting with them, oh my God, no. Yeah, I draw the fight out. I go on the Saiyan pride bullshit. No, we're going to draw it out. We're going to make it fun. We're going to humiliate them. We're going to make them desperate. We're going to put fear into them. We're going to see, oh, you're going to quit? No, no, no. Keep the fight right there so the referee doesn't stop the fight. But make sure you just keep them just enough fear to keep the fight going, but have them mentally broken. Yeah, that's what I would do to them. Anyways, that's a different approach. You see, this is not fighting as martial art. This is fighting as warfare, getting to the point. And I don't think that's suitable in combat sports, to be honest. But there's an element of entertainment and all that. But I can't deny that's how I feel about them. Because that's the pain. Because that's the pain I feel. Mike, I have to see if I can remember the whole Mike Tyson quote. Cause I want to stomp on his motherfucking testicles because that's the pain I feel. But the damage that they caused with the scamdemic, staying to like how I've issued my challenge, these people still to this day they want to pretend that nothing has happened. And day after day after day, they get caught in various frauds. Like, they were taking money for services they never provided in the Dominican Republic. They did PCR scams where people were paying for a negative COVID test. They never faced the consequences for these things. This society in the Dominican Republic has the most health care. It's health care, right? The budget, the government involved with it, that has ever had. And people are sicker than ever. There's hospitals everywhere, pharmacies everywhere, delivery pharmacies. Send me something. I said, I ain't making people retarded. Because it's known now, right? But people pills. But not one of they don't, not, that's how I feel about them. You don't know. They've caused serious damage to people psychologically, physically, emotionally. And COVID is a huge concentration of that, but they've done it before. They're doing it after. But I say just COVID, it should open people's minds. People are already open to it, and they're going to suffer the consequences of their actions. And again, people are hypochondriacs. Everyone's obese, alcoholic, drugs through the freaking roof, mental illnesses. I don't even need to go start saying of like how bad the service is. But then you go to a gym, you deal with people who are healthy. You're out in nature, out of the cities, out of these degenerate offices, listening to these people who are morally bankrupt, that they're willing to commit so much fraud, that they believe they are these, almost like these philosopher kings, that whatever they know more than you about you, and they should tell you how to lock up. But again, how do they live? We all know that these people do anything for money. Not all, obviously I'm generalizing, but the concept I'm talking about here, they do everything for money, they lie, and they're willing to destroy lives to do it, and to keep a seam of power. And this exists in the developed world, like in the United States, but in a place like the Dominican Republic, it's more cultish, it's very religious, because people worship them. They get special. They're very special in society, but status wise. But in reality, they're in debt. They're scared. They're losing their jobs at AI, the same way. One of the biggest morally bankrupt things that we know that happens in these places is the promiscuity, their approach to sex and things like that. The doctors are just next. The nurses, same thing. We know what's going on from the outside. In the Dominican Republic, I'm like, as much as people complain about the American healthcare system, no one will let you die on the road. Even if they put you under debt forever, it's like, man, we're going to rescue you. Here's the fucking debt. That. But in the Dominican Republic, they will throw people out of the hospital if they don't have the money to pay. And obviously, just like everywhere around the world, it may not be as expensive as in the United States, but for the salaries of a Dominican person, the price is astronomical. So they throw people out the street. I've never experienced, I don't believe in these people, but people close to me have told me this, and then they're all like, I'm like, how do you guys contribute to the system when this happened to your family member? This is a fraud. Anyhow, and the fact that they operate this way with this open avarice, and how they operated during the scandemic, which was basically they were the special people, the dancing, all that bullshit. The curfews, The curfews. There were 12 p.m. curfews at one point in a Caribbean island. The curfews were creating mass accidents. Like people were, you could hear like 20 minutes before the curfew, everyone running because motorcycles, right? Accidents. And the people who were special, I mean, these were the political parasite class too, but focusing on the doctors, the sick care professionals. Yeah, sick care. That's all they do, manage sick people and make them more sick and make them into their permanent customers. These people go to party, they drink, they hang out, they have permits, they do whatever they want. The police had a whole bribery system. It was disgusting. And the reason I think, again, we gotta talk about the scam is can't be gaslit into the next bullshit. Because the same people that did this will do it again or behave and just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't my fault." And you know, they're going to suffer the consequences of their actions. But us, the sovereign, the people who are trying to live in balance with nature, God, with truth, what is it that we're supposed to see about this? Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this so that we know that these people are willing to throw us under the bus at any time. And things are going to get very difficult for them. Very, very, very soon. You know, I was talking madness. I'm like, "Oh, this is going to happen." And I thought it was going to happen like in a year. Okay, it's been 5. We have the economic collapse. We have mental sickness around the world. It was all proven a scam. Now we have centralized authoritarianism wanting to use AI and really go on psychological warfare and 5th generation warfare against their own population. So we have to be, when we're aware of that, and be like, this is the clear bullshit, the same way we've always done, the same way you've always done. You're aware of it, you see the truth for what it is, just walk the path. Build, focus on the true values. You have to identify what are those true values because they exist, they're inherent in nature. It's not always easy. But man, it's imagine going with it in 2020, getting all the vaccines, going crazy, fighting over toilet paper, voting, just taking mass stimulus money. And look at the statement. Look, remember I said, "I don't want your blood money," and people thought I was crazy. I didn't take the stimulus money. Now look at it. Everyone is paying for it. Cannot escape the consequences of your actions. So let's try to embody God, because that's what you're supposed to be. Be in the truth, good, in the way. Everything's going to be all right. So if this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear what you thought. I'm really trying to put something out there of value that helps you become a better person, create a better world, have a clearer map where you don't feel so alone as you're doing things. Even though, yeah, you are alone as you walk, but not really, because spiritual in the next dimensions, we all overlap. We're all the same person, the same family. All right, hold on. Yeah. Look, no shocks needed, right? Yeah, tell Hassan. Oh, he grabbed him like a bunny. That's all right. He's a cat. I've been doing this. He's a baby. Look, he's a happy guy. He's very happy. He comes down here with me. It's shock collar. No shock collar for him. Woo! You gonna scratch me? No, you don't scratch me. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. Peace.